All right, guys, here we go. Last part of the buyer training that we've been talking about. I want to get into the buyer data service form. This is the actual form you'll use when you interview a buyer. So let me share that screen with you guys. And here's it should be on your screen. This is a form called the buyer data service form. Okay, and you know, when you go to the doctor and they're talking to you, they're writing everything down on a chart. Okay, this is the same thing for a buyer. Okay, and anytime that you're writing anything down, guys, make sure that you get the buyer's permission to take notes. Mr. and Mrs. Home Buyer, you mind if I just jot down some notes? I've got an actual form here. I just want to make sure that I give every buyer excellent service. So let me go through a couple of questions with you. Okay, and on here, guys, if we take a look, we get into buyer name, phone number, all of that information. Okay, number one, are you familiar with the area, Mr. and Mrs. Home Buyer? Okay, let's see if I can make this a little bit. There we go. Are you familiar with this area, Mr. and Mrs. Home Buyer? Okay. Where do you live now? How long have you lived there? Okay. Address, get that information. Do you own your own home or are you renting currently? Okay. And what am I really asking? Is there a listing here? Do we need to find you a tenant? What do we need to do? Do you own your own home or do you rent? Letter D, will it be necessary to sell your home before you purchase your next one? Okay, and their ambition might be to keep it as a rental, and that's fine. Obviously, that's part of what our loan officer will help us do. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what are their goals, what are their dreams, what are their needs and wants. Okay, letter E. What? Letter E. Okay, when would you like to move into your new home? Okay, one of the things that I've taught for years, guys, is every buyer that we work with, there's 3 letters on their forehead. Okay, stamped on their forehead is MUA. My job as a sales person is to figure out their motivation, their urgency, and their ability. MUA. Okay, MUA. Yeah, MUA. Motivation, urgency, ability. That's why this question is in here. When would you like to move into your new home? Okay, letter E. What am I checking? A little bit of motivation and urgency there. Okay, and then we keep going. I apologize, guys, if we keep hitting the wrong button. Letter F, tell me about your present home. Okay, what's the square footage? Bedrooms, baths, all of those kinds of things. Okay, tell me what you like about your home right now. What don't you like about your home right now? Oh my gosh, we only have 1 bathroom. But whatever it might be, okay? I'm trying to figure out what is it that you like and don't like, okay? This is going to help me when I'm doing some of my home search, okay? And how many are in the household? How many adults? How many children? What are we looking for? Letter G, great. Okay? Have you recently seen any homes? Okay. Have you recently seen any homes that you liked? Yeah. Of course, it was. Have you recently seen any homes that you liked? Okay. The next question: why didn't you buy it? Okay, and just find out where they're at. Sometimes these little bit pointed questions, guys, we've got to ask them. And somehow they seem a lot easier to ask when you're just reading them off a piece of paper. Okay, and letter I, are you working with a broker? Okay, find out where they're at there. Okay, no one can ever say, oh, you never asked me. Yeah, I ask everybody. It's on every document. Okay, now, number 2. We talked about I need air, I want a Porsche, needs and wants. What is it that you're looking for in your new home? How many bedrooms? How many baths? Are you looking 1-story? Are you looking 2-story? Some other features. Are you looking fireplace, pool, view? Just some questions to ask. Location or proximity to. Could be family, babysitters, job, work, or you know what? Mama works east, I work west, we want somewhere central. I don't know, whatever it might be, okay? Or you know what? Gotta be, how close can you get me to Fort Bliss? As long as I don't have to drive more than 20 minutes, Tony, tell me something. I'll go northeast, east, west, but just keep me no more than 20 minutes from Fort Bliss. Normal commute time, okay? Number 3, financial. Not to be personal, but to do a better job of serving you. Okay, let's talk about your finances. Okay, so tell me how rich you're getting on the job. Okay, where are you currently working? Okay, how long have you been there? What type of work do you do? Okay, and again, we may have 2 or 3 in the family that are coming into that. Okay, letter D. Do you have any other equities or investments? Keep in mind, guys, a first-time home buyer can take up to 10 grand out of their IRA. They do have to pay income tax on it as normal income, but they don't pay the 10% penalty for taking it out. The 2 reasons you can take money out is what? Education or buying a home. Okay, so that's part of the reason we might ask that one. And letter E, tell me how rich you're getting on the job. What is the total monthly household income? Remember, this is gross income before Uncle Sam gets a hold of it, okay? And are you paying taxes on it? Had a lady in Dallas-Fort Worth recently, she's working, 3 days out of the week, but she gets paid cash for cleaning houses. And she's not paying any taxes on any of that. So the $1,000 she makes a month doesn't help her household income and qualify. So anyway, things like that we need to be aware of. Now, most people are concerned with monthly payments. Lenders are going to use what? Gross monthly income. Okay? Long-term obligations to determine your payments. In order to be of better service to you, let's figure out what payments would be comfortable to you and might be acceptable to a lender. Now, if I'm sitting with a little first-time home buyer, guys, I'll go through letter F, obligations. What are the payments? What are some of the payments that you've got every month? What's the minimum on the credit cards, the furniture, child support? Do you have any signature loans? Okay. And I will literally sit down, guys, and do like a 3143 on an FHA loan. Okay. Now, I don't always build enough rapport with everybody to where they'll give me this information. So what I might do in this example, let's say I meet someone and I can tell they're just kind of a little bit standoffish. They don't really want to be real forthcoming. What I'll do many times, if I don't feel the rapport there, just don't feel the connection or the love, I'll give them an example. They already told me where they worked. If they're a school teacher, I know if they're a brand new teacher, they're probably making about 45 grand a year, right? I mean, firefighters, probably somewhere in that same neighborhood. They've been there longer, obviously they're making more, but you know what? I may go through the knowing what they do. I might just say, well, you know what? Let's give you an example of someone that makes $5,000 per month. And I'll just go through and say, look, and if they've got these debts, here's how we do the math. Okay. And if you need some help with this, guys, I can help you with that. But basically, I just do a very, very simple pre-qual with them. Give them an idea of what a payment would be. Okay. And with interest rates where we're at, I can pretty much figure out what sales price they're looking at. If it's $1,200 a month in house payment they're qualified for, that's about 150 grand a year right now. Okay. And I'll get with you guys offline a little bit on that. That changes now and then. Now, here is the single most important qualifying question you can ask anybody. Mr. and Mrs. Homebuyer, should we be fortunate enough to find you the right home at the right price today, are you ready to write a contract? Are you in a position to proceed? Now, I did the pause on purpose. Whenever you ask a closing question, Shut up. It may seem like forever, but you deserve an answer. Okay? A lot of salespeople will get in their own way. That awkward silence starts, and then they start talking. Come on. Okay? You're never going to be a closer if you're always talking. People tell me all the time, oh my gosh, Tony, you should get this guy into real estate. He's got the gift of gab. And I've always said, but does he have the gift of listen? Because that's what makes you money, is the fact that you can listen. Does that make sense? Okay? But guys, this right here, letter G, and again, work on how you say that. I love the phrase, right home, right price. Today, are you in a position to make a decision to proceed? Okay, single most important qualifying question that we're working on. Okay, so this is the buyer data service form. This is, and keep a copy of this. Now, I will tell you this. I've used this form since I got into real estate. And when I was a brand new agent, man, I did everything my broker would tell me. So I use this form all the time. And then after you sell about $1 million worth of real estate, what happens, guys? You get good. And you say, I know it by memory. I'll just take down some notes. And I'll never forget one of the most embarrassing times that I ever had was I had an out-of-town buyer coming into town. And I was talking to the husband, and this was back when we could do assumable no qualifying. And he said, you know what? I want to put this much money down. We're looking for this type of payment. And so I went off their financial needs. They come into town from San Antonio. I'm hauling them around. We go look at the first house, and it was like 1,500 square foot house. With the financials he gave me, that was the houses I found. They were all about 1,600 square feet. And the first house we stop at, the wife looks and says, oh my gosh, we're moving from 2,500. I'll never fit in this house. And everything I had to show him was 1,500 or 1,600 square feet. Why? I forgot to do my questionnaire and figure out what they lived in. And I forgot to ask them about the needs and wants. So I said, well, you know what, guys? Everything I've got to show you is about this size. And financially, that's what kind of fit the deal. The husband says, Tony, I've got more money for down. Let's see what we can find. I said, well, you guys go have lunch. Let me run back to the office. I'll pull up some more comps. Boom. We go out and we look. Got on contract that afternoon. But it could have been, I was embarrassed because you know what? I took the shortcut. I got good. And so that, guys, this stuff works. This stuff works. It's just that system. It's just that system that you use. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Now, let me stop recording on this one. I'm going to cover something else as well. Hold on just a second. You're getting a boot camp today, Jessica. Awesome. Okay, so that was the buyer data service form.